Hygiene systems. Cleaning, hygiene and catering disposable solutions for the workplace. This is a CLP and COSHH awareness training course. Please ensure that all mobile phones are off or on silent for the duration of this session. This course covers instruction for the safe use of chemical cleaning products and will ensure that you understand how to use and handle chemical cleaning products. It will also cover the latest CLP, which stands for Classification, Labeling and Packaging Regulations. It's often called COSHH training. Why do you need training? Some of you may be thinking, I've done this job for years. I know all there is to know about cleaning. I've done all this training before. Well, if you've done it before, treat this session as a refresher. If you haven't, then hopefully you will pick up a few tips and do's and don'ts when actually using chemical products. There are benefits of using COSHH, including a healthier and safer workplace, less risk of poor health, better record keeping, staff awareness of the hazards, higher health and safety standards, meeting legal requirements. What does COSHH stand for? COSHH stands for the Control of Substances Hazardous to Health. What is COSHH? The law requires you to adequately control the exposure to materials in the workplace that cause ill health. This is the Control of Substances Hazardous to Health regulations. All chemical products are assessed under these regulations. Harmful substances. Many materials or substances used or created at work could harm your health. These substances could be fumes that you breathe in, liquids, gels, or powders that come into contact with your eyes or skin. Harmful substances can be present in anything, from paints and cleaning chemicals to flour dust, solder fumes, blood, or waste. Poor health caused by these substances used at work is preventable. Many substances can harm health, but, used properly, they almost never do. Risk assessments. A risk assessment is carried out independently by your employer, not by a supplier. It covers the risks of each product used and each task for that specific product. Now, most importantly, do you know where your risk assessment book is kept and have easy access to it? If your answer is no, please confirm with somebody in authority after this session as to exactly where it is. As an employer, they are required by law to protect their employees and others from harm. Under the Management of Health and Safety Regulations at Work, 1999, the minimum they must do is identify what could cause illness or injury in their business, the hazards, decide how likely it is that somebody could be harmed and how seriously, the risks, take action to eliminate the hazard, or if this isn't possible, control the risk. Assessing risk is just one part of the overall process used to control risks in your workplace. For most small, low-risk businesses, the steps they need to take are straightforward. The risk assessment is produced using safety data sheet information. Here we have a short video explaining the risk assessments that your employer has to contend with.
As an employer, you must protect your workers and other people from harm. Look for things that could cause injury or illness and decide if you're taking reasonable steps to prevent them. This is called assessing risk, and it's straightforward for most small businesses. It's just one part of how you can manage risk to keep people safe and healthy at work. Look around your workplace for things that could cause harm. These are called hazards. Ask yourself, how are people using equipment? Are they working in disorganized or unsafe ways? Is your workplace in a suitable condition? For example, are walkways always clear? Your accident book and sickness records might help identify less obvious hazards. Think about hazards to health like repeated or heavy lifting, using chemicals, and causes of work-related stress. Pay attention to potentially vulnerable people, like pregnant workers, young people, or those with disabilities. Remember other people who might be harmed, like contractors or visitors. Speak to your workers, as they may see potential hazards and have good ideas to help reduce the risks. Once you know the hazards in your workplace, decide who might be harmed and how, and what you're doing to protect them. It's then much easier to decide what further actions to take and who should carry them out. Sometimes you might not be able to remove a hazard completely, so think about how you can make it less likely to cause harm. For example, you could do the job another way, use different materials or tools, or provide personal protective equipment. If you employ 5 or more people, you must record the hazards, who might be harmed, and what you're doing to control the risks. You can use our risk assessment template and examples to help you. Review what you're doing to control risk whenever there are significant changes, like new staff or equipment. You should also review your controls if your workers spot a problem or after any accidents or near misses. Update your records with any changes you make. Protecting people is about what you do to control risks, not the forms you fill in.
Handling and using chemicals. All chemicals require correct labeling and packaging. A safety data sheet is supplied with every chemical to ensure safe transportation, safe storage, and safe usage. So it's not just people who regularly use the cleaning products that need to be COSHH aware. Our drivers at HSL that deliver all the chemicals need to be aware, along with safe storage, where back in our warehouses we store thousands of lines of chemical products. Our staff here have to be aware too. Safety data sheet. Now, this is an example of a safety data sheet. You cannot see too much detail from this one example here. But remember, there is one of these for every chemical that you use on site. These could be 4 pages, 5 pages, 10 or more just for one product. This really depends on just how hazardous a particular product is. Safety data sheets are often referred to as a COSHH sheet, which is wrong. An SDS uses COSHH to determine the risks. By law, all chemicals have a safety data sheet which is available for all new chemicals and should be kept on file as it gives full details on how to handle, store, and use the chemical. It also gives you details of chemicals that make up the product. In case of an accident or emergency, you should all be aware and have easy access to where they are kept. Should you not know, it is imperative that at the end of this session you ask somebody in authority where your safety data sheet booklet can be located. You could refer to the label on the bottle, but there is never as much information on the label as there is on the risk assessment or safety data sheet. Hazard signs. Hazard pictograms alert us to the presence of a hazardous chemical. The pictograms help us to know that the chemicals we are using might cause harm to people or the environment. The UKCLP hazard pictograms appear in the shape of a diamond with a distinctive red border and a white background. One or more signs may appear on the labeling of a single chemical. Now, let's take a quick look at a few of these. This could cause harmful skin irritation or serious eye irritation. Extremely flammable. Highly flammable. Corrosive, causes severe burns and eye damage. The signs you have just seen are the most common ones for the cleaning chemicals that you use on site. There are others including explosive, serious health hazard, including cancer, toxic or very poisonous, hazardous to the environment, oxidizing, and gas under pressure. Initial first aid. You do need to know some sort of initial first aid on what to do if there is an accident. Contact with the skin. Wash the skin with clean, cool water for a minimum of 15 minutes. Contact with the eyes. Irrigate the eye with clean, cool water using an eye bath or eye bottle for best effect. Ingestion. Rinse the mouth with water, avoiding swallowing more, and seek medical attention. And inhalation. Remove the person to fresh air immediately. Remember your personal protective equipment. It is down to your employer to make readily available to you. Things like gloves, masks, goggles, safety footwear, if the chemicals you are using advise you to do so. It's down to your employer to provide these, but at the same time it's down to you to make sure you actually wear this equipment. Think safety at all times. If you're mopping a floor and there could be a risk of slipping, or vacuuming a carpet where the mains cable could cause somebody to trip. Please assess the hazard. For goodness sake, cover yourself and use a wet floor sign or caution cone. Also, once the floor is dry or the mains cable wound in, please remove the sign, as this sign could then be classed as a trip hazard in itself. With the advances in battery technology, mopping is becoming less and less with battery scrubber dryers, and battery tub vacs and upright vacuums completely get rid of a mains cable. If you want more information on these, please contact your HSL account manager. If you want the best results, use the correct dilution rates, always adding the chemical to the water, and use the correct dilution advised. For example, if you are told 2 pumps of chemical into a 5-liter mop bucket or 2 capfuls of chemical into a trigger bottle of water, stick to what dilution you are told. Don't think that by adding more chemical you will end up with some super strong cleaning product. This is not the case. A perfect example of this is when you see somebody mopping a floor. As it dries, the floor looks terrible, with visible mop streaks and even white patches. This generally means that too much chemical has been added to the water, so those horrible marks are chemical residue, and the floor is very sticky once walked over, meaning it actually gets dirtier quicker. So remember, stick to the correct dilutions. Also, allow the solution to have the correct contact time. Most chemicals require a contact time. They could require only 30 seconds. But for some chemicals, they could need a couple of minutes depending on the degree of soilage. At the end of the day, it's a chemical, designed to be effective against whatever you're cleaning. So giving it the time makes your life much easier, so you have less scrubbing and wiping to do. Always rinse away toilet cleaner. You never know who will be using the toilet next. This is a common mistake with using acid toilet cleaners. You've probably seen it used incorrectly in a work environment, or even when visiting friends. Some people get a toilet cleaner and put it around the urinal or around the toilet bowl, then walk away and leave it. This is very wrong. Toilet cleaners are usually strong acids, which can burn the skin. The correct procedure is to put the toilet cleaner into the toilet, including under the rim. Agitate it with a toilet brush. Give it the required contact time. Brush again, and then it must be thoroughly flushed away. There have been consequences where it has been left, children touching it and getting it on their hands and in their eyes. Think of this poor elephant and the dreaded splashback. So apply, scrub, wait, and then get rid of it. Never put chemicals in an unlabeled bottle or container. If health and safety walk onto your site and find bottles of cleaning products without labels, they won't be happy. You may know what that chemical is, but nobody else does. HSL supplies specific labels for many products free of charge, which can be posted or sent with your next delivery. Remember, when you have finished with the cleaning product you are using, put the cap back on tightly and lock it back up in your cleaning cupboard or back onto your cleaning cart. Never leave chemicals unattended, especially where the very elderly, children or animals can reach them. Never ever mix cleaning chemicals together. Mixing cleaning chemicals together can lead to severe health concerns or even death. Here are the 3 main reasons why you should never do this. Number 1. It could cause an explosion or a bad chemical reaction. Number 2. The fumes that come up from mixing chemicals could kill you or leave you with long-term breathing problems. Number 3. By mixing all those different chemicals together, the mixture probably won't work. It won't degrease, it won't kill germs or sanitize. Color coding. The color you assign to each area is your choice, as long as staff members are trained on the system you choose. Generally, this will be the same color mop and bucket, cloths and gloves for a specific area. The cleaning equipment colors are representative to that area of use. For example, you would not want to clean the floors of a kitchen with a mop that has been previously used to clean the bathroom floors. Color coding can be broken down into 4 areas. Public areas such as lobbies, receptions and hallways. Washroom and toilets, this can include shower rooms and bathrooms. Restaurant and bar, including dining areas and cafe lounge spaces. Kitchen and food preparation areas, any kitchen, food station or area where food is kept and/or prepared. Check what colors are designated for the areas you clean, as chosen colors can vary at different companies. So, remember, read the instructions on the label and always follow the guidelines given by the manufacturer. They will tell you how the product is handled, diluted, applied, used, and removed. Putting that more simply, you have the cleaning product that you intended to use. You've checked the label to see what protective equipment, if any, you need to wear. You've checked the correct dilution rates to how it's applied, whether it's by mop or cloth or sprayed directly onto a surface, to how much contact time, if it needs one, to where it's used, and finally how it's removed, whether it is a product that can be used and left to air dry, or whether it's one of those products that has to be rinsed and completely removed, like toilet cleaners. Spillages. It's unlikely you would have a huge drum of cleaning chemical awash in a corridor, but you could have a cleaning product that has leaked in your cupboard, or something has been spilt onto a floor. So, you need to implement steps to spill response. Determine the liquid spilt and assess the risk to people, the environment, and to property. It could be blood, tea, coffee, or even a cleaning fluid. If it can be identified as a chemical, refer to a safety data sheet, as there is usually a section on what to do if there is a spillage. If required, select the appropriate personal protective equipment, ensuring all areas of the body are protected. Then, clean up the spill. It is advisable to let somebody in authority know what has happened and how you dealt with it. Do you have spill kits and quick response equipment on site? There are numerous kits available to suit many situations. Should these be of interest, please contact your HSL account manager. It's important. You must always follow the risk assessments and the safe systems of work that are provided to you. Failure to follow these rules could result in an accident. These incidents mean consequences that could seriously affect you. You, your employer, and other parties may end up going to court. You could end up facing a disciplinary proceeding. It could mean you lose your job if you have failed to follow the rules and regulations. COSHH and safety data sheet regulations are for your benefit. They have been developed to ensure a safe environment. Working safely is everyone's responsibility. After this session, you should all be much more aware. Thank you for your attention during this training session. Should you require any further information, please contact your HSL account manager or contact us on 01992 460 698 or email sales@hygienesys.com.